Hello everyone, greetings for the day and welcome to our learning journey. This is Divya and you are watching Trend Brain. In the last video, we saw some of the important tips for all the parents who are looking for preschool admissions. In today's segment, we are taking a look at some of the tips for all the teachers before you begin your preschool. Most importantly, I would request all of you to grab a pen and pencil or grab a notebook with your pencil and note down these important tips. We know that you would have made your own plans, but these tips could be really, really effective. First thing is like plan your curriculum. If your school is providing your curriculum, very good. Go through the curriculum, see how the lessons needs to be planned out and take a look at what activities could be done. But if your school is not giving you curriculum, take a look at the books, what they offer, take a look at the worksheets, what needs to be offered with, plan your lessons accordingly. The first thing is like, you can completely do your yearly plan. Then you divide your yearly plan into monthly, then weekly and the daily plans. So this is the first important task. Now it is April, you have good amount of time, maybe another one more month before you get started with your June session. So you have ample amount of time to plan up your curriculum. When you plan your lessons and activities very much ahead of time, the first few weeks of your school is going to be amazing. It's going to be smooth because you are not pressurized. I know how difficult it is the first or the second week of preschooling because you have good amount of children joining and you need to engage them really very well to have a very smooth transition from home to preschool. Right? So plan your curriculum very much ahead of time. Have varieties of hands-on exercises, variety of engaging, exploring exercises. Have a lot of play which gets involved into it. So the quicker the children settled into your classes, the better you will be able to engage all your children into your class. This is important. So planning your curriculum. Once your curriculum is all done, the second preference what you need to give is the choice of your classroom. Okay, so setting up your classroom before your first day of school is important. Maybe not like 1 or 2 days before, much before, because you will have new parents walking into your class because they would like to interact, they would like to share something about their children. Have a student journal. If you're having a one-to-one between a parent, if they're sharing some tips and suggestions like how to settle, note down. So that journal is going to help you because you're very sure about how to work with the particular child or what makes that child easily settle. What could be an engaging exercise for that child to be, to have a little bit more easier structure into your classes. So that's one thing. So when you keep everything organized, when you keep everything accessible, your classroom is all set, right? Now your environment, your school environment or your class environment should be warm and welcoming. So what do I mean by warm and welcoming? Since we are working with children of 2 to 6 years of age, maybe your classrooms can have good amount of artwork. Maybe you can have smaller areas wherein you have some part of reading section, wherein some books are kept. You can also give them good amount of writing exercises, maybe some color pencils or crayons can be given. So when they enter into your classroom during interaction, much before the preschool itself, you have some materials handy in your classes. So that will be very warm. So it's like it will help your child to be welcomed into your classes. So this is there. And very important is like getting to know your students. Try to know about every student of your class. So you can reach out to your administrative office, take a look at the contact numbers of the parents. If possible, collect the email IDs. If you want to send out a welcome letter to the parent, please send it out. So your greeting and meeting messages can be given to the parent. So that's how you will start introducing yourself. You get to know about what the child is interested in. If the child needs any help much before they start the preschool, you start working on the needs of the child. So this is very essential. So much before you could even start with the schooling, you already know about your class. That's a brownie point to all the teachers, isn't it? So not everybody are, I could say blessed with this. And for this, I would always recommend parents to enroll their child as early, because this is one of the disadvantage in most of the preschools, is because the parents will wait till the end of June. They go around and have a look at almost all the preschools. We don't know how many number of times. To be very frank, I have seen many of them, they do join their children very late. When you're enrolling the children as a teacher, it becomes very difficult to understand your child way earlier. If there are any kind of gaps, it becomes very difficult to bridge the gap. So if any parent is watching this video, this is one of the protocol that you need to follow. Take a quicker decision, take the best decision, start early, enroll early, interact with your teacher early, because even that will give a teacher also enough amount of time to understand and meet your child. Okay. The next tip for all you teachers is about the safety protocols. So review the safety protocol with your students. So you need to know about safety protocols, like your classrooms. As soon as you start with your classes, you should know about if there is any emergency, how should I handle that emergency? If there is any kind of if there is a fire extinguisher in the school, you should know about using. So participating in those fire drills, participating in those sessions wherein emergency drills are given, it's very important, because you need to be working on the safety protocols, like contacting the parent immediately in case of emergency. How is it? What is it? So check with your school on how do we work on the safety protocols. Okay. Most important to understand, no matter what it is, you got to communicate with the parents effectively. So try to communicate with them much before the school starts. Tell them about your reopening dates. Tell them about the events that is going to happen in the first 1 or 2 months. So you're going to understand. The better you communicate, the earlier that you communicate, they will also be able to understand about how the school is going to function. In between, in case if there are any kind of questions or concerns, you would be able to immediately clarify their concerns, and you would be able to talk to them in a very effective way. So this is something which is going to be working on. Now coming down to your class. Now you have worked very well with your administrative team. You've got to know about your students. You've met the parent. You've done your one-to-one. You understood about the school policies, the safety protocols, and everything. Right now, what is more important for you is, like, from there onwards, as a teacher, how would you take your class? Right. So each of your classroom should have a set of rules. That means, as a teacher, you should have some kind of rules that you're very firm with. I'm not asking you to be strict. I'm asking you to be very, very firm. So when you're firm with your class rules, that is what you're going to expect with your students also. So you can say, like, when I have a group of children, unless you settle down, I'm not going to be talking. And somebody has a question to ask, you need to always raise your hand. So you can always have whatever could be your rules. Make sure those rules are displayed in your class. So children understand visual representation much better. If there is a possibility, put up all those rules visually. Raise your hand. Let's be quiet. Let's not push. Okay. So all those things have to be mentioned. Now, more importantly, it is not only about displaying the rules. You should also make sure that the children know what is expected out of that rule. And they should also understand what is the consequence of breaking that rule. Maybe we cut down on a play period because we did not follow that particular rule, right? So this is very essential when we work on our classroom rule. Now, most importantly is differentiation. Planning for differentiation. So what do we mean by that? Every child that you meet has different needs. Every child has got a different learning style. Every child has the ability to perform differently on your planned activity, right? So what you need to do over here is, like, that's when it becomes much more challenging for you. So you got to be very agile, very flexible. You need to have amazing alternative exercises to engage so that the child learns up to his utmost potential. So this is very essential for all your teachers. If you are not sure about how do we plan out for this, you can join for our other sessions wherein we would be giving you a complete guide on how exactly you need to be working on your lesson planning. And very, very important that as a teacher, I would always recommend is you need to build positive relations. Positive relationships not only with children, also with parents. You need to take time to talk to children. You need to take time to listen to children. You need to also praise their efforts, no matter how small or how big it is. You got to praise their efforts. What a wonderful writing. I really appreciate the way that you have taken my instructions and celebrate their success. I'm very happy that you have completed this exercise within 5 minutes. So that's again a success for a child, right? So you can actually bring up those things and you can reward them with a tiny star or something. So that's how you celebrate every child's milestones or success in your classes. And most importantly, all you teachers, you forget to take care of yourself. Remember to take care of yourself much before the school starts so that you do not take sick leaves right at the time that your school starts to work on. So what do? Get enough sleep, plan your activities very much in advance, eat well, eat healthy, make time for relaxation, do take care about yourself. And that is going to help you to be at your best for your students. We need all you amazing teachers to work amazingly on your new preschool year. Best of luck, good wishes. If you need any suggestions and tips, you can always leave your comments below, and I would love to read all of them. I would be very, very happy to listen to your success stories as your new school year begins. Thank you. Loads of love. Stay in touch.